And it's recording again. Okay. Well, it looks like it stopped recording, but it's actually hasn't. I just have to get unmoved because now I had 1, 2 kind of stuff to record. I thought one of them would actually start. Yeah. So actually, just with that weird woman, so he was just walking around, just picking crap off the garbage, off the beach. Yeah, she's moving on now. It's funny, like, just as I've moved on, she moved on. You don't have to read too much into that, but I think you can read. Just as I've moved on, just moved on. Just there's all kinds of subconscious reasons why people behave the way they do. I suppose you could imagine that everyone around you is behaving the way they do because they're fixated on your government agents. And it's probably veritably schizophrenic people. And there's people that might be feel like they're being bounced off. And I think it's like a genuine mental illness and or kind of a cult. I think sometimes, if you really buy into that energy, you might have at least one experience where your heart skips a beat. Why is that person parking there? How come they're not getting out of their car? I start to see cars with certain colors parked across the road from where I live. And, it's not that hard to do. Just not being in any religion, you've now chosen to perceive things a certain way, which is, in a sense, you have every right to do that. And that's really important. Like, if you meet someone who thinks this way, you have every right to think this way. I've met people like that, and I've known a guy who lives in his car, and he slowly, I've talked to him dozens of times, and he slowly stopped thinking that way. I never had to tell him not to. I might have made one comment at all the time, but, I think it's kind of snarky, and he thinks that someone is on their phone in order to, quote, mess with his phone. You don't know for sure what someone's experience has been. Now, in this day and age, you just don't know for sure. But yes, if you spend time with probably mentally healthier people, with economically more affluent people, people who are safer in life, they probably never have such problems. Yes. It's interesting. See, got a little bit. It's like a little tree. I think so. Just to put it, put it in the most positive sense. Put your ring out very far. Okay. I would say on the whole, there's totally legitimate reasons why people might, if briefly, pay attention to you, especially if you're on your camera talking about this subject to yourself. It kind of lends itself to a certain heightened awareness, and in a sense, it's a good practice for resonating with your subconscious. Is anything that makes you paranoid, including the use of marijuana, which I can't really and don't want to technically encourage people to smoke. Not for any for or against necessarily, but just because that's the position I've taken, without having to give it any more explanation. And but I'm just going to say, like, nothing that is useful at a medicinal level is useful without being powerful, and any power can be not the best power for someone in a particular time of their life, and without any unnecessary negativity or aspersions to those who find otherwise, and I'm thankful that you do. Same thing with drinking, right? It's just, even if you're not against alcohol, just you know that like a 5-year-old shouldn't get drunk, right? And so doesn't mean they're the same or anything. It's just things to be considered, things to be cautious of. Maybe some 5-year-olds need to benefit their brains with the like by the time they're 10, they'll be like, Vine, who needs Vine? I need straight heroin. I feel nothing. And to be fair, it's another cultural difference. People in other more developed parts of the world are listening to me talk about alcohol. I'm talking about the same substance. And people who smoke weed and mature wonderfully all of their lives with their family, what are you talking about? So, this is, you have to always account for these differences, these potential offenses with sacred. People might at least find agreement on this. I use it every day, so obviously I have no reason to disrespect the spirits of marijuana. Observant of ways that are critical to me than a woman in the distance is in other words, I'm fucking so scary. And they can say that you look different, you stand out. I'm staring at you. Think of my son Lori, spots for trees, as in the same life is pretty boring. Listen to me. And also, people see me around and are be observant. They say to them, but are uncharitable. That fucking dude is always talking into his. He's always got a backpack on. Looks like he's not walking to work. I've seen him. I'm not sure if that's a statement of value or not, because it's just like a thing that you do. So there. I don't know you, but like maybe you could explain yourself to me, because I seem to see you way too often during the day and the week. And you just sort of get this energy off of people, which in a sense is still bound up into sheer curiosity, and maybe even like a sense of like impending doom. In other words, they don't want to know what I do in my life. They don't. You're scared of finding out about it. It's like, and frighteningly, horribly ill-prepared to tell anybody. So, we're actually a perfect pair. We're compatible. Just trust me, there's no danger that I'm going to start talking about anything about what I do. The 1 or 2 times in my life it's even come up, I don't get a positive response. So, since I spend most of my life, not precisely so for the sake of other people, let's just say, in the realm of abnormal psychology, either because I'm a natural inhabitant or because I'm a fairly studious quasi-scientific sort of person with personal issues, which can actually help. I've always thought as a poet anyway that humans are perfect observers if they are willing to be naked in the darkness. Humans are perfect observers. It's fully existential sense to be like, I will be an observer until I am not here to observe anything. That is all I will be. I am only capable of observing. Everything else just happens to me. Everything else just happens to me. Now, if you're like that at all, in part or most of your life, then you're like me. It has rarely done me any good to try to protect myself from anything or to take risky measures like getting a job in order to stave off the unfortunate likelihood of living out my latter years in filth and poverty. It doesn't look good on YouTube, as I'm telling my 3 viewers how I spent $2.50 on a refried steak dinner that I had to put in a microwave for 16 minutes. And I got 2 for 1 because it was Tuesday down at the shopping loop. My mother's long passed away. I've never had sex. And sometimes I get about a half erection because some girl walks down the street to Catholic school and started dropping her bag exactly when she crosses over because she can feel the resonant tones of my innate testosterone, which always seem to have a sort of effect upon her at a distance. And it does me a sort of sense of pride. Like, after all these years, that's the last thing that works, really. The heart is gone. The lungs are just filled with the liquid ether of sadness. I'm pretty much breathing underwater every day. A fish that lives in the cold, dark, deep of the ocean. No birds. And the family, the feelings, the lives, the memories are all gone. So fleeting. And even while they were happy, I sensed their imminent loss. Even as they were in front of my face, they might as well walk away. And I was talking to a spirit come to me in my most loneliest hours. And this to me was the best way to honor the spirits I care about. To treat them as though they were after 2 years of hatred, as my love for fire, like a distant sun, close again, because of a flower or a day removing the wind. And don't tell me the spirit dies. Do not fucking tell me the spirit can die. Don't even fucking insinuate it and want to enter my home, my church, and the church of my spirit. Don't offend me with your words if you can give any thought to the spirit being a dead thing. The body is made of one of many words and sounds, and none of them are dead. The bylaw officer was sitting there. what lends itself to so that bylaw officer, he sat down there for I walked down this way and he was sitting there. Again, you can kind of read into that what you want. I don't walk out here so much, but I think he just has various stations that he goes to looking for offenses or staving off offenses. I don't think they have a lot to do. This is where you don't want to take it personally, but you can see how they give up a kind of predatory feel. I mean, their job is to find people, right? And I find myself just incredibly just thinking to myself, am I erring against any bylaws? Have I recently? Am I clean? And not because there's a good reason for approaching to not liking the prospect of them doing so. And by and large, you can bet in around bylaws, many a person who's been approached by a bylaw officer, what the hell am I doing? Shit, this is not going to be a nice discussion. Anyone who can get you, no fleeing person wants to be stopped because you throw your cigarette stuff into 3 feet of melting snow and somebody says you could have caused the town to burn or something. And it doesn't look good, but I found a nice farm and beautiful sticks and I go there. And, no, but he showed up down there and they're men and their job is to pick up on people. Okay. Another example of an old man overmaking decision, and it's I kind of stand out now. I've got a strange brain in my I got a beautiful study, and I go home. I hope one day. But yeah, in the cold, in the darkness, you know, depending on as it were, what does one do? Well, then anyone close to you is beaming to you from beyond the beyond. From your mother's birth to their next brother's birth. They are beamed your spirit into your presence. What kind of church do you call that? That's an incredible parallax, isn't it? That's a beautiful aesthetic, all unlocked by your admiration for another human being. A love that makes you miss them if they were gone. It makes you miss them while they're here. And abuse, interference in critical relationships that enter bereavement into that church because it's something like a sacred triangle, right? And it's been touched. If nothing else, they don't talk about it. They talk about death, but what about the triangle of birth to birth that spans everything fortunate about knowing someone, that their spirit would be with you from beyond those 2 points, like the sun. They would always be with you. If they're gone, but they're here, they were here, they'll be gone. Were they never gone, or were they never here? And if they were never here, they were never gone. But if they were here, they were gone. And when they're gone, they will be here. Or they were never here, and they were never gone. You see what I'm saying? And that people can be gone from us, children can be orphaned, right? Yet they could be here, and it would not be so awful, but that their being here was so dear to us, that we should find them, even now that they are gone. And even when they were here, they were gone in ways they should not have been. Oh, we were gone in ways that we should not have been. And it wasn't our fault and it wasn't theirs. And mothers and fathers and sons and daughters lost each other. And yet they were here. And we should cherish that. And we should know the great difficulties that have entered into that great union. And we should know that great union again. That sounds pretty good. So that's true. Like Egyptian. Bum, ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da. Oh, dum, ba-da, dum, dum. Bum, ba-da, bum, dum, dum, ba-dum, dum, dum. Well, I'm putting into words something that feels right to me. And I come home every day and say, I love my mother, I love my mother. Come hell or high water. And the hate that can be found there. And my mom just doesn't know how it feels to listen to it. And yet every day I share my anger and I commiserate with those who have to listen to me because I am scared, alone, and angry. And yearning to come home, to return like a poem to that heaven and that rhythm where the soul knows its flesh in time. The soul, not the soul, the soul. From what heaven, from what rhyme, the soul. Its home in flesh and time. To be like the sun, to be human, and delicate like the sun. And the sun would be you, as much as you would be the sun. And the sun would be you, as much as you would be the sun. And the mother and father and you in that great triangle from birth to birth. And from all that they were born to all that would be born again, and all that you would know them, and all that they were gone from you, that they were here. And even when they were here as beings from an infinite darkness that will never ever be lonely again. Because they were here, and you could believe in the power of their flesh and blood, heaven and the earth. And we should all be commended across these many aeons, as happily as ever any spirit should be, and human most of all, and human among all, and be courteous to yourself and others. And know that there is some great bereavement the human heart may yet feel, or voices that have not been heard, that might be gathered up in the greatest of wisdom that ever came to us from the great birth of all, and unto its rebirth, that gone though it had been, it had yet been here once, and would again, and would have found us from such a place, that all were lost to us. It had found us there once. It had from the beginning, and it can now. And these sounds too have their reason. And this intelligence too has its power. And my way of life has yet its fullness in thine. The sun itself is born, is it not, each day? Is there not a birth in the day? Do you not sense a birth to the day? And how many births has the sun had, and how many births will the sun have, and how great is the sun's power, and how generous is its spirit, that ours should be so generous to each other. Could they be anything else, and where they have indeed, we have been bereaved. We have our angers, and we have our fear, and a great stirring of will in our hearts. And let it be said that the truth shall conquer all, whatever it may be, and dark as it may be. Yet the sun is born, and so are we. From all we were, to all that which we are yet to be. And so are we here for each other, in admiration, in respect, and under the power of hearts such as these, that none can rent asunder. And yes, limbs from limbs and families from their own, and torments the world should never have been subjected to. And yet this remains. The words that truly live, the words that make up our bodies, that are not made of any words that are dead. And the Spirit lives in His Son. Okay. We're all home. Where are we to? So when I said one for the second time, he saw me again as he had seen me before. I probably wondered if I was stalking him. And I had some reason to question his intentions also. But again, among the people who had seen me, and his job being to see people to some degree, and him having not very much else to do, and being disposed to look out for human miscreants, among his other achievements in life, I merely had to make sure that I wasn't looking at him and just going about my way, letting him see my back as quickly as possible. I was wrong. I'm pretty good about it.